Today I'm going to play Dreambound, which is a game from the same developers as A Date with Death. It is a BL visual novel and I'm very keen on trying it out as it will be released next month, around the 29th or 30th I suppose. So I already want to see whether I like it or not and whether I will stream the full game then. As I really much loved A Date with Death, as everyone should know by now. Yeah, it is 9:30 AM right now, and I am very sorry to all the European people who are still asleep and probably will not see a bit of that stream, because honestly, I think I should be in bed too. There are people who get up early, but I'm a student. I don't get up early. Then let's jump right into the game if there is nothing else to see here. It was 2:37 PM on a Friday. On this specific day, at this specific time, a funeral was being held. Oh. He was so young, how unfortunate. There would be many more Fridays, many more days where the clock would tick over to 2:37 PM. Time would go on, whether one person was here or not. So much talent wasted. What did it mean to be alive? And what did it mean to be dead? His family must be devastated. What did it mean to exist? And when would the existential dread finally cease? A boy with brown hair sat in the corner, alone. To him, that coffin looked much too small to hold a soul so large. Oh my god, I feel sad already, guys. Why is that starting off so sad? I don't want to have like a romance story where someone dies in the end. I can't take that. Much too small to contain an entire existence with all of its history. Noah. Tomorrow everyone else will go on living. Tomorrow everyone else will forget. And if not tomorrow, then the next day. One day everyone forgets. The brown-haired boy held tight to his chest. He would not forget, but even if he could not convince himself of these words, how easy it was to spot platitudes while someone lay dead 10 feet away. I'm sorry. It was 2:37 PM on a Friday, and on this Friday a funeral was being held for two. Oh, I got goosebumps. Damn. No, that intro section was strong. Wow, this really has a completely different vibe than A Date with Death, but I'm so into it already. What? Oh, I love August, he's so cute. Hello Kay, good morning. Nice to see you here. I just started playing Dreambound, which is like a demo from 2.5 Studios who made A Date with Death, and that's up. I wanted to play it and I'm super invested already after like 3 minutes. Alone, confined within his prison, the man sits, his back slouched and his arms raised. In his hand, a paintbrush. A weapon in his eyes, perhaps, a tool. From it, life should flourish into every corner of a world, part imaginary, part very much real. Waves crash onto the white shores. The night sky reflects back on itself, a sea of stars amidst the swirling currents. All is calm, yet not. But as it were, that world didn't exist, couldn't exist, it would never exist, it could not be created by this hand. The man holds his paintbrush up to the empty canvas, blank like many of the rest. Is it day or is it night? He does not know. Light doesn't belong in a place like this after all. It has never belonged. He closes his eyes, waiting for it to appear. Something, anything. A vision, a masterpiece, a muse, an apparition that would inspire his creativity, anything at all. But nothing comes to him. Nothing comes, without fail, without exception. Every stroke he laid against that impossibly bright white canvas was like a stain on his soul, a dirty mark on what should have been pristine. By his hand, all he could create was loneliness. I'm fixing my Twitter follower list. Oh well, have fun. By his hand, all he could create was loneliness. Nothing belongs. Nothing would ever belong again, for he was broken. Time moves like this unfailingly, an entire passes, or what feels like it, as the clock slowly ticks away. Tick-tock, tick-tock. Never ending. But what is time to someone with no time left to give? His hand shakes, he cannot force it to paint, yet he cannot set his hand down either. Behind his closed eyes, he wards off the tiredness as he can feel at the edge of his consciousness. Perhaps a dream would help him to paint. Perhaps, if he simply allowed himself to be carried away in that star-filled ocean, inspiration would strike. Or perhaps it would take him far away from this world, and finally bring him peace. Yet he opened his eyes, denying the very thought. Anything but that. Anything but a dream. Was it fear, hate, disgust? No, it was more, much more. There we go. Hello, chatbox. There you are. Thank you so much for telling me. This was no base emotion. This was something far more deep, far more sinister. The minds of men were warped beyond recognition. Their being had been wholly evil. During the day, they wore masks to hide their intentions, but during the night, inside their dreams, the masks would fall. What was once pure and bright was now corrupt beyond repair. Noah, you need to stop this at once. You can't live off like this. Whatever these scribbles are meant to be, imagine what people would say about me, about us. Why can't you be more like your brother? It's about time you grew up. You are not a kid anymore. Go throw all of your stupid little books out already and give this up. No, this is all I have. All I have left. This is all his fault. Look what he has done to our son. Please, I need something. Just one thing. Let me have just one. A letter laid at the rest at the table, unopened. He lacked the courage to open it, too scared to read the words what would shape his life. His fingers, trembling, came ever closer until the feel of the textured envelope brushed against his fingertips. It felt like life. It felt like the future. It felt like the one thing that could pull him out of the deep pit he had found himself in, slowly being buried alive. He opened the envelope in one fell swoop. Words spread out across the page, perfectly ordered. He suddenly felt as if he lost the ability to read. In that dim light, he tried anyway. Dear Noah, it is with great pleasure that I inform you that you have been selected to receive the Copper Cove University of Art Excellence Scholarship. Each year, only one student is chosen statewide to receive this scholarship through a process of portfolio presentation, interviews, and recommendations from prior instructors. The Copper Cove Academy of Art Excellence Scholarship provides full tuition for your years at our school. Please note that students with this scholarship must be enrolled full-time and maintain a 3.5 grade point average to continue to receive their scholarship. Once again, I congratulate you on your selection for this great honor. We look forward to seeing you on campus. front of his eyes, the letter turned to dust, floating away on the wind into that imaginary world. Memories of the past aimed towards him like daggers. They pierced his flesh, but that didn't matter anymore. He was used to it. In fact, he sometimes wondered if he enjoyed it now. The pain spread through his body, but at least he could finally feel something. His paintbrush, still tinged with color, stayed motionless against the canvas. Resisting the urge to yawn, he rubbed at his eyes with his bare hand. A ringing sounded through the darkness, echoing through the soulless house. No one was around to pick it up, no one except... Go away. It kept ringing and ringing, then ringing some more. Then it stopped. Until it began again. Go away. Noah clutched at his head, the ache only made worse by the constant sound that pierced his ears. He wanted to ignore it. More than anything, he didn't want to answer the phone. But the caller was stubborn and Noah easily irritated. He stood from his stool, dropping the paintbrush to the ground. It clacked against the wooden floor, paint flying across the planks. Just more added to the already growing collection. At this point, more paint was splattered over his house than there was on any canvas. Slowly, each step deliberate, he walked towards his phone. The model was old, the same one he had had since he was a teenager. He looked at the number on the illuminated screen, but he didn't recognize it. Still, the ringing continued. I should just turn this stupid fucking thing off. He stared at the screen, the light burning his eyes. And for some reason, he picked it up. Noah, is that you? What do you want? How did you get this number? It's me, your dad. Can we talk? I answered the phone, didn't I? What do you want? Please, it's been so long. What do you want? Your mother has just passed away. Please come to the funeral at least. Noah removed the phone from his ear and slid his finger along the screen. It went silent, the other person never to know what happened. Without a second thought, he switched the phone off and dropped it into the rubbish. So she's dead. His voice lacked any emotion. Whether this fact made him happy or sad, no one would be able to tell. He walked back towards his easel. On it, a still blank canvas waiting to be brought to life. He threw it to the ground in a heap with the rest of the abandoned masterpieces before sending his foot crashing down towards them, breaking them in half. One after another, he smashed them into pieces soundlessly. Not a word or a cry escaped his lips. Only a silent fury. Not at his mother's passing. Only aimed towards himself. Finished, but not feeling any more fulfilled, he dropped to the ground and curled into a ball. His eyelids felt heavier and heavier until finally he found sleep. But even sleep wasn't so restful. Noah awoke to the sound of a key turning in a door, then the same door opening slowly. Footsteps started off slow before they sped up, coming directly towards him. But he didn't flinch or turn to look at who it was. If someone wants to kill me, let them. If they want to steal any of this shit, go for it. I don't care anymore. I don't care, so just let me die. Noah? What are you doing on the ground? Are you okay? Noah should have realized who it was, yet he somehow felt disappointed. Would have been better if it was someone here to kill me already. Go away, I'm resting. You have a perfectly good bedroom, one room over. Come on, let me help you to bed. I don't want to, just leave already. Let me at least get you some water, come on. Cain extended his hand to Noah, who stared back at him blankly. Cain was the same as he had always been, kind, dependable, hardworking. Charismatic, funny, popular. Everything he wasn't. With a sigh, he took Cain's hand and let himself be guided towards a seat. He finished out a bottle of water from his bag, obviously bought in preparation for the visit. Must be nice, living the kind of life where you buy bottled water. Noah took a sip, feeling the coolness make his throat hurt just a little bit less. Must have been a while since I last drank anything. I didn't notice. Noah. I gave you that spare key for emergencies, you know. I'd say this counts as an emergency, wouldn't you? Noah, this has to stop. You need to get some help, get outside, I don't know, just things need to change. You can't keep living like this. Noah angrily pulled away from Kane, a frown settling in his brow. No, nothing has to change. I'm fine the way I am. I didn't ask for your help, so stop buttling into my life. You didn't need to. Look, this isn't like you. You didn't used to be like this, you know? He wouldn't want this for you either. You know that. Shut up. Don't bring him up. He was my best friend too. I'm allowed to talk about him. And I'm certain this isn't what he wants you to do. A silence spread out between them as both looked away from each other, searching for what to say. Between them was a gap that didn't used to be there once upon a time. How's your painting going? What does it look like to you? Noah shrugged, but continued when Kane stayed silent. I should just give up. There's no point anymore. I can't paint. I'm just wasting my time. Of course you can. I've seen you paint before. I know that you're capable of. Then why? Look around you. Why can't I do it anymore? It's too late. Everything feels dirty. There's nothing worth capturing left. I'm chasing a light that doesn't exist. But look, you have plenty of nice paintings around. Noah looked between them. They morphed in his mind, becoming too ugly to even glance at. They're nothing, less than nothing. This is what the end feels like, I think. Wouldn't it be nice if the world just ended tomorrow? You know, maybe going out and experiencing some new things would help you to spark your passion. Meeting someone new, meeting new people would be good for you. There is no point. I'll die surrounded by my blank canvases and then finally I have my only masterpiece. Noah. As if unsure about what to say, Kane found the remote and turned on the old small TV. A news presenter dressed impeccably read out the news with so little emotion you would wonder if she really cared about the words leaving her mouth. Next up, we have some breaking news from directly on the scene. A number of bodies have been found with strange flower-like markings first believed to be tattoos. Analysts say that no ink, pigment or burn marks are featured on the victims, which has ground the investigation to a halt until they can find out what these markings mean. Further proof that true art is found in death. With a disgusted sound from deep in Kane's throat, he switched the TV off, as if deciding that silence would be better. I'll ask you one more time, okay? Please, let me help you. I don't want your help. I just want you to leave me alone and to stop coming here. We're friends. Noah, I'm not going anywhere. I don't want any friends. I don't deserve any. I don't want the only person left that matters to me to betray me too. Better if you just leave now. I am not going anywhere, I promise. I told you to leave, not stay. As if on cue, Kane stopped producing another water bottle from his leather bag. He stepped closer and closer until he stood in front of a potted plant, the only bit of life left in the entire house. He watered it slowly, deep in thought. Make sure you look after this, alright? I can't stop by every day. I am... good. Finished, Kane walks towards the door and opened it wide. Noah shielded his eyes from the sun. I just want to see you go back to your old self, alright? I want to help you. He doesn't exist. He shut the door with a soft thud. Once again, he was alone. How I prefer to be. Noah stood from his stool and wobbled at the room spun around him. His head still ached and he could feel a deep hunger in the pit of his stomach. When was the last time I ate? Uneasy on his feet, he slowly found his way into the kitchen. Noah's kitchen was as bare as ever. He hadn't ever used it, really. Most of the time he'd order something to be delivered, or better yet, skip eating. His money was limited and he had always put his paint supplies over anything else. Noah reached up to open a cupboard, knowing full well it was bare, when he smelled something. Food. His eyes found a container left on his table with a small note. He picked it up. It read, "Enjoy, I'll bring some groceries around soon. Kane." He wondered for a moment whether he should accept it or not, but eventually his stomach won out against his stubbornness and he sat down at the dining table alone to eat it. Well, he said, he thought. He really hated it when he thought. How easily he can just come and go, when I'm stuck in here like a corpse in a coffin buried alive. But what of it? I don't care anymore. The sunlight that I haven't seen for years, it suits him, not me. My friends, my family, all fake. Twisted, corrupted, just like me. Nothing is pure, nothing. Except... He brought the fork to his lips, slowly nibbling at the home-cooked food Kane had brought. Still a good cook. He really does have everything going for him these days. Suddenly he froze, a terror crawling over him. His head throbbed and his stomach lurched. Then he fell. His fork dropped to the table, abandoned. Oh, what is going on now? The world spun around him until it disappeared, spinning, filling his body with a dread oh so familiar. He squeezed his eyes shut, begging silently for it to stop. He didn't want to be here, he wanted to be home. But when he peeked out of his tightly shut eyes, his home was long gone. His surroundings were still blurred around him and his body felt as if it were being ripped in all directions, as if at any moment he would be torn into shreds. But he wasn't. And he knew this feeling well. With a thump that didn't reflect how long he had been falling, he hit the ground. When he opened his eyes again, he saw darkness all around him. Not a human darkness, but a darkness that was something more. Something sinister, something threatening. A place no one belonged. Noah quickly got up to his feet and checked himself over. No injuries. His eyes darted around the bleak, dark landscape. Nothing stood out to him. No one awaited him. This isn't what it's usually like. What's going on? I want to go home, please. I just want to go home. But he knew full well that was required of him. His footsteps were slow and careful before speeding up in desperation, searching for the person who could free him from his nightmare. He walked and walked, then walked some more until his feet ached with deep blisters. Yet he still walked, because the alternative wasn't something he wanted to face. Behind him, nothing. In front of him, nothing. He was working in circles. He wouldn't have known. His feet ground to a halt when he finally saw something. Or someone. A man curled up into a ball, sitting in the distance. Darkness surrounded him, threatening to take over his very existence. The man looked up. His eyes were hollow, filled with sadness. Their eyes locked. My father? Why would I be brought here? How? His mind raced as he tried to come up with any reason, any excuse. The man called out to him, but his words were lost in the shadows, never to be heard. Noah, still frozen, couldn't decide whether he should approach him or run away. His heart yelled at him to run, to put as much distance between them as possible, but his mind saw his only ticket out of here. Before he could make a decision, a dark mist started to roll from a place unseen. It spiraled and spiraled, twisting and turning until someone stepped out of it. Another person, surrounded by shadows. His steps were slow but not careful, deliberate perhaps. With purpose, he approached the curled-up man with his heavy steps. Suddenly the man's voice traveled to Noah. Noah, Noah, I want my son, please. Give me my son back. The shadowy man raised his arms, his hand what looked like a gun. Bang. There was no hesitation, no pause. Just a single shot through the head. The curled-up man dropped to the ground, his body evaporating into the mist. The world shook around them, mountains of shadows come crashing down. The whole world threatened to cease existence in a mere moment. Noah's eyes darted around, searching for a place to escape to when he finally looked back towards the man with the gun. And as the world came crashing down around him, he saw that the shadowy figure was looking right back at him too. Ooh. An empty, eternal darkness. Why is darkness always seen as cold anyway? If anything, Noah felt like he was surrounded by an intense heat. It was too much, too overwhelming. He thought that at any second he had burst into flames. But nothing happened to him, even if he wished for it. Something soft wrapped around his shoulders, holding him tight. He should have been scared, but instead the pressure felt welcoming. When he opened his eyes again, he was sitting. Noah sat in front of his easel, his hand poised over the canvas. His hands were covered in a splattering of paint that cracked over his skin already dry. The darkness that surrounded him suddenly felt light after the place he had escaped. Noah paused in surprise, his eyes glued to his canvas. On it, a painting of pure darkness. A reflection of a dream. How could this be? I wasn't here. At first, he wondered how, then why, before his mind settled on an answer that didn't answer anything. It's perfect. At some point, the brush had dropped from his hand and landed on the floorboards, just another splatter amongst the sea of color. He couldn't look away, he wouldn't, not when this was everything he had been waiting for. This is it. Jumping to his feet, he lifted the painting from its place and carefully put it to the side. Who would have thought that which I detest would create my finest piece yet? And all it took was a single dream. He sat back on his stool and slumped forward deep in thought. Oh, here we go with a backstory, it seems, like some kind of flashback. I will take another moment to talk then. I think it's super bad to interrupt like that flood of words and descriptions. Like, I feel like it's written so well that it feels horrible to just pause in between to say something. Maybe that's me, but I really enjoy being like sucked into a story and just being super in the moment, and I think always like going out of it and saying like, oh, well, actually, I really like that character or something, really interrupt that, so I'm sorry if I just keep reading and it's not interesting to anyone. Maybe that's just me, but I don't know, I just love being like so focused and kind of so in the zone for media like that. Oh my god, I am so excited for the release of that game already. My dad let me stay up all night playing. You've gotta get it. As if my parents will let me skip out on studying to play games. You won the parent lottery. You can just say you're studying and stay over at my place then. Oh man, really? I'm down for that. Kane leaned over Noah's desk, talking and laughing as he usually did. Noah sat lazily kicking his feet against the legs of the desk, not worried about whether it would annoy anyone else in the room. It was an early morning, a few months into semester. Noah had settled into his routine by now, walking to school with Kane, chatting until the bell rang, then wasting the day away until he could go home. Of course, there was more to it than that. Studying, tutoring, pressure from his parents, but all in all, nothing ever shook him up. He was comfortable, but bored. Hey, I heard something interesting. What now? Apparently, someone moving into our class. What? At this time of the year? No way, they'd never catch up with the workload. No, for real, my dad said so, and your dad's on the board of directors. Yeah, you say it every time. Do you think it'll be a cute girl? Too cute for you, that's sure. Ouch, my heart, it's fine, you're the only one I need. Kane fluttered his eyelashes, putting on a voice so clingy that Noah physically recoiled. Ugh, hopefully it's a guy so I can make a new best friend. I think something's wrong with mine. You can try. Who else would be able to put up with you? Step, step, step. The door opened as someone walked carefully to the front of the room and behind the desk. Their teacher, Mr. Floyd, stood in front of the classroom before clapping his hands. All right, take your seats. I have exciting news today. The class chattered endlessly as the students did... Can't read anymore, I'm so sorry. The class chattered endlessly as the students did as they were told. An excited buzz spread through the room. As some of you have heard, we have a new student joining our class today. He has just moved here from interstate, so make sure to help him if he gets lost with anything. So boy, guess Kane was wrong about that one. Noah leaned his elbows against the desk, resting his head in his hands. For some reason, he didn't find himself all that interested. Anyway, I'll let him introduce himself. You can come in now. A pause. No one opened the door. For a few moments anyway, slowly the door opened wide and someone stepped in. Noah sat up in his seat, his eyes locked on the boy that entered. Blonde hair and deep green eyes. He didn't hesitate any longer. He stepped in front of the class with the brightest smile Noah had ever seen. Oh, this game will break my heart, for real. I am so weak for characters like that. Like it's not even a simping way, but like, do you see Noah's face? Like, that's how I feel. Like, he's so cute, and as he says, he smiles so brightly. And I hate it when stuff happens to characters like that because I'm always so devastated. He didn't hesitate. Ah yeah, I read that. I feel like I know these intros by heart now. It's nice to meet you all. My name's August and I've just moved here with my dad. Actually, we moved around every couple of months, so I've been to around 7 schools already. A few students gasped in surprise, hanging on to every word he said. Rather than sounding like a well-rehearsed speech, his words flowed naturally and calmly, without a single nerve to be hurt. It certainly did seem like he was used to making such introductions. Still, I hope we'll be staying here a while longer, or at least enough time to get to know you all. August is a pretty name. I thought it would be a girl with a name like that. What does your dad do? He's a photographer, so he is always traveling and moving. I had the option of staying behind with my grandparents, but I decided to go with him. Wow, so awesome! I wish I could travel that much. What else to say about me? I like sunsets and long walks on the beach. The room exploded in laughter, but Noah couldn't even manage a giggle. Something about the boy captivated him, caught his gaze and held it there. He was afraid if he even moved a muscle the boy would disappear. And so he stared silently. Alright, enough of the dating app intro. Make sure you all make August welcome and show him around later, okay? Go take a seat. There's a spot free over there, next to Noah. Of course, he sits next to us, whatever. What else? Noah waved meekly and August did the same in return before taking a seat. Whatever was said for the rest of the class, Noah didn't know. He twirled his pencil between his fingers, his workbook abandoned. His elbow rested against his desk as he snuck glances towards August's profile. Every now and then he would shift, making Noah jump and look away. His profile is almost pretty. He continued staring at the boy. Well, not even almost, it is pretty. With that thought in mind, August's eyes finally met Noah's. Noah froze, unsure if he should quickly look away or pretend he hadn't been staring, or if he should just smile and act natural. Eventually, August decided for him. He smiled brightly, tilting his head, and at the same time, Noah awkwardly smiled back before looking away, his heart racing. Only a few moments later, a folded piece of paper slid onto his desk. Noah looked at it in surprise, then back to August, who simply raised a finger to his lips in a shh motion. "You Noah, right? It's nice to meet you. I hope we can be friends." He put a nose in his smiley face. He wrote his return message carefully on the other side, unsure of what exactly to say. "Yeah, nice to meet you too, August. Looks like we'll be stuck together this year." Why did I do it too? So lame. When Mr. Floyd turned his back, Noah quickly scrunched up the paper and tossed it towards August, who meticulously flattened out the screwed up ball and read the message. Done reading, August propped his elbow up on the desk and rested his chin in his hand, copying Noah's posture, and smiled towards him. Noah's mind went blank, and the rest of the lesson passed in a blur until the bell for lunch suddenly rang. Only when Kane was standing over his desk, waving a hand in front of his face, did he snap out of it. "Hello, Earth to Noah, you there?" Right, yeah, it's time for a break already." Yeah, and Mr. Floyd called on you twice and you didn't say a word. Are you feeling alright?" Yeah, I'm feeling a little out of it." "What do you think of the new guy?" "What?" Noah's cheeks felt hot at the sudden question. "Why?" "I don't know, just making conversation. He seems nice." "He has a nice smile, too." "Right, well, I guess we should go greet him too. Wanna go over now?" "No, I mean, I'm sure he has a bunch of other people hanging around him right now. Wouldn't want to crowd him." The rest of the classroom was empty. Everyone else had already cleared out, either to eat or chat with friends. August had obviously been pulled along to have a tour with their other classmates. "Yeah, seems like he'll be a little hard to get a hold of. Later then, wanna go get something to eat?" "I brought food, so I might just eat here." "Whoa, you're sharing?" "Don't be stupid, your lunches are way better than mine." "What can I say? I'm something of a chef de cuisine." Fuck it, I don't know French. I can't pronounce French. Noah laughed in response before pulling out his lunchbox. In it, a sandwich and a few other snacks. Compared to the luxurious meal Kane had cooked for himself, it was nothing. "Actually, you can give me some of yours." "You know, I'm always happy to share with you." Kane gave Noah a warm smile. He might play around, but Noah knew that Kane would probably do anything for him. The door suddenly rattled and opened. Noah put a sandwich down and turned, just in time to see someone walk towards him. The boy from earlier. August. He sat at his desk, quietly minding his own business. Kane looked towards him, then back to Noah, motioning for him to speak up. You okay?" "Oh, just a little tired. I thought I could probably hide in there for a little bit." My name's Noah, which I guess you kinda already knew, and this is Kane. You wanna eat lunch with us?" "Is it really okay?" "Of course, the more the merrier." August turned his chair around with the same big smile. Sorry. I'm so weak for sound joke like that. Like, this just makes me smile so much. It's time for the blush emote. Here we go. August turned his chair around with its same big smile. "You get dragged around everywhere by the girls. I think they showed me every inch of the school, which I'm happy about, but don't get me wrong, just a little exhausted." I liked your introduction, by the way. What a stupid thing to say. God, I'm so lame. "Ah, really?" He laughed a little before looking down. "I was a little nervous, honestly. It's hard coming in front of new people and talking about yourself. I'm not really that interesting, so I always have to build myself up to do that." You certainly broke the ice. You're gonna fit in well around here, I can tell. Thank you, I really hope so. His voice was gentle and calming. He had an air around him of brightness. I'm gonna go buy a drink. You two want anything? Just the usual. Do you want me to come? Nah, you can wait here. August? Oh, then can I just have the usual too? Noah could feel a gentle smile directed at him all throughout his body. Got it. Kane left the room and it was suddenly silent. Noah tapped his fingers uncharacteristically, wondering what he should say. What he could say to fill the silence between them. Psst. What's the usual, by the way? Just a cola. Phew! I wanted to sound cool, but if it was coffee, I would have made an embarrassment of myself. Ah, yeah. Noah's fingers tapped against the book that sat in front of him as he searched for something to talk about. School. Too boring. Where he lived before here, I bet everyone's already asked him that. What's that? August pointed towards the book under Noah's fingers, his eyes filled with wonder. Oh, that it's just something stupid, don't worry. Now I'm actually interested, can I see? You really want to see? If it's okay with you? It's a little embarrassing. That's okay, I think everyone gets embarrassed about the things they make sometimes, cause it means so much to you. Feeling shy about his work, he handed the sketchpad over to him. Inside was a plethora of drawings, sketches and paintings of anything and everything that had caught Noah's attention at one point or another. For once he was glad he hadn't drawn anything that day, lest August find a drawing of himself. You drew all of these? Yeah, sorry, I said it was stupid. These are amazing, they're so beautiful. No, they're just... You have so much talent. His eyes were filled with so much wonder that Noah couldn't help but respond in earnest. I actually want to become an artist. I know it sounds dumb, but... Amazing! You're really amazing. You'll be a fantastic artist, I can tell. Have you ever tried painting? Oh, I haven't. I can hide these sketchbooks at home, but I think my family might notice if I brought in an easel. Why would that matter? They don't really like me doing art. Well, I think you would be really good at painting. Your drawings are so beautiful. I'm really bad at painting though, and drawing, and pretty much anything else art related. Maybe we could try together. Noah blurted out the first thing that came into his head before instantly regretting it. However, he responded in earnest. That sounds really fun, I'll take you up on that offer. Noah found himself struggling to reply to that sincerity, unused to anyone being interested. The door opened again and Kane stepped in. His eyes wandered from August's warm smile to the tinge of red on Noah's cheeks before he frowned. Pushing that to the side, he smiled again and set the drinks down on Noah's desk. Got 'em, enjoy! Thank you, I'll pay for them next time, I promise. It's no problem, don't worry. We can just force Noah to pay anyway. Hey. So, you just moved here, right? Whereabout is your house? Not far from here, I think it's Fielding Avenue. I'm still wrapping my head around the street names. Both Noah and Kane looked towards each other, blinking in surprise. Number 42? How do you know? That's the place next door to me. The people living there did move out a few weeks ago. I had no clue. I guess we're neighbors both at school and home then. Maybe we could walk home together. I mean, if you're not busy. Yeah, I like that. I mean, it's probably the safer option too. I might get lost otherwise. Aye. My dad always told me that if you dropped someone in the middle of the woods with a broken compass and half a map, they'd still have a better time finding their way out of there than I would. Okay, I need to interrupt you here because that's literally me. Like, I don't know, in my first week of school, I lost my direction and took the wrong bus 5 times. And as you are most likely aware, in Germany we just have 5 days of school in 1 week. So my first week I spent every day getting lost. Simply because my hometown didn't have any buses, so I really wasn't used to taking the bus. I only could take trains, and I was too stupid to read those, how they call those, timetables. And even if I read them correctly, I was standing on the wrong side because I wasn't used to, like, things going kinda 2 directions with, like, unknown destinations, because I couldn't remember which destination was the direction I want to go to. Yeah. That's my story. That's my story. Here it comes. The bell rang again, signaling the end of lunch. August shuffled back to his desk where Kane gathered his things. Oh. Next to him, August dug through his pile of books before frowning. I think I left my math textbook at home. Mr. Floyd laughed, waving his hand in a carefree manner. You can share with Noah for today. Try to remember for next time. Yes, sir. August carefully dragged his table and chair closer to Noah's until the two were sitting shoulder to shoulder. All right, everyone, open your textbooks to page... Oh god, why did I leave it here last time? Go on, say it, Mr. Floyd. Open your textbook to page 69 and we'll resume our previous lesson on trigonometry. Some kids in the class snickered and giggled. Usually Noah would at least glance towards Kane with a smirk, but this time he was completely frozen in place. August leaned his head close to Noah's, his blonde hair hanging down in front of his glasses. He carefully pushed the loose strands behind his ear as he read the textbook carefully. Mr. Floyd's voice faded into the distance as Noah's concentration on triangles wavered. He only snapped back to reality when August mumbled something under his breath. Math might be the death of me. For real, that's me too. You don't know how to do this? Don't laugh, but I usually only just manage to pass my math tests. Okay, that's so not me, because I didn't pass my math tests. I promise I'm better at my other subjects. Do you want to work together on these then? Noah tapped the problems in the textbooks with the end of his pencil. Really? Thanks, Noah. Noah. Somehow the name sounded just right rolling out of his tongue. Noah swallowed hard, then finally pulled his eyes away from the blonde boy. I need to concentrate. So, if we have the adjacent and the hypotenuse... Oh damn, I never used those words in English. August stared down at his workbook where he had copied down the problems and had begun working on them. Then, Noah reached over, wanting to write something beside August's neat handwriting. Noah barely stopped himself from pulling back as their hands brushed against each other. Oh, that makes much more sense than the way I was taught. Thank you, Noah, I think I get it now. No problem. Noah pulled his hand back awkwardly, fidgeting with his pencil. The rest of the day was much like the beginning, a complete and utter blur. For some reason, Noah couldn't get that smile out of his head, yet at the same time he thought of it made him nervous. What's wrong with me now? As the clock ticked down, second by second, until the bell would ring to signal they could go home, the butterflies in Noah's stomach took flight. He tapped his pencil against his desk nervously with a frown. This is stupid. It's not like me to be nervous about anything. He's just another guy anyway. It's not like I'm walking home with a girl. Beside him, August didn't take any note of Noah's actions. Unlike him, August had actually been working through the tasks. Is there something you want to say, or are you just tapping your pencil repeatedly for fun, Noah? Mr. Floyd's voice was light-hearted and Noah knew instantly he was just joking around, yet his face still went a deep shade of red. No, nothing, Mr. Floyd. When the bell finally sounded for class to end, August was instantly surrounded by people. He struggled between them to move his desk back to where it came from. Kane found his way back over to Noah's desk with a laugh, glancing at the huge crowd. He kinda looked like he'd be shy or quiet, but he seems fine even when he's surrounded by people, huh? In the center of that gathering, August smiled and chatted away as if it were only natural. Yeah. So why don't we walk around in the city? I can show you around. Oh, actually, I need to go home and unpack. Next time. Then how about we walk home together? Thank you, but I'm actually walking home with Noah. It turns out we're neighbors. Oh, I'm so jealous. You don't want to spend too much time around him anyway. You're way too nice for him. He's kinda jerk. Noah froze at the comment. It's true that he wasn't particularly close to his other classmates, but he had no reason to become friends with them at all. I relate. He had Kane. Thanks for the compliment, but I think he's probably nicer than I am. Also, I don't think it's nice to talk about people behind their backs. Anyway, I need to go. Thank you for showing me around earlier. August waved them off before joining Kane by Noah's desk. Shall we leave then? Do you live nearby as well? Just across the road, actually. Amazing. This is like fate meeting you two. Yeah, right. Fate. Noah stood from his seat and gathered his things, dropping his art book into his backpack. With everything tucked neatly away, they left the school. The air outside was still warm and the sun beat down on their faces. The smell of late spring gently soared with the wind. Each step felt like it took great effort. As Noah gripped onto his chest, he wondered if he was starting to get sick. Needs something to break the ice. Kane doesn't look like he's going to say anything. Think, brain, think. So, what kind of things are you into? Noah stood between Kane and August, but all of his attention was directed at the newcomer. I don't really think I'm into anything very interesting. Your hobby is way cooler. We have moved around so much I never got into any clubs or anything, but I do like reading and taking photos. That's cool. I like reading too. Since when? Since always, Kane. I can't remember the last time I saw you pick up a book. I do have a life outside of when you see me, you know. Wait, really? He feigned shock, but Noah just rolled his eyes and looked back towards August, who was laughing at their antics. You two are really good friends, huh? I'm probably the only person who could put up with him. Ah, I'd said this the other way around. Maybe when we should have walked home without you. We'd all be walking the same way anyway. That'd be a little awkward. Whatever, I do like reading, so that's cool. And you like taking photos too? Yeah, my dad's been teaching me a little. Cool. I didn't realize you were so into photography too, Noah. Will you just shut up already? To be honest, I'm nowhere near as good as my dad is. Anyway, it's a little embarrassing only talking about me. What about you, Kane? Me? His only interests are good food and his own looks. Hey! Tell me I'm wrong. I like cooking, and just because I use a moisturizer doesn't make me obsessed with myself. Who uses moisturizer? I do. Guys, for real. If you like my streams, or if in the future I might have like some fans coming back to this or something, use moisturizer. Do skincare, it is important. No matter if you're like a boy, a girl, or like anything in between, use moisturizer. It makes your face better. It is important. Don't worry, I do too. See? Be like Kane, be like August. Well, I guess it's not that bad. Maybe I should try it. You already have such clear skin, you're really lucky. No, I think yours is a lot nicer. Oh, can we show August a shortcut? Kane smiled, interrupting the conversation. Oh yeah, good idea. The shortcut? It's easier to show you, but if you take a left up ahead, there's a shortcut through the mountain that leads to behind Noah's house, and yours now. Really? That's amazing. It's not that much shorter, but it's kinda pretty, I guess. Since when did you find nature pretty? Since none of your business. With a laugh, they made a turn into the greenery and left behind the sounds of civilization. As the sound of traffic dimmed, so too did the sound of the wilderness begin to settle around the trio. That was so German. August looked around in wonder with wide eyes. It's beautiful. This really is a beautiful town. I'm sure you have lived in much cooler places than out here. Nothing ever happens, nothing ever changes. Well, I've lived in a lot of places, but nothing like this. I'm so jealous you get to see this every single day. Well, we can just walk this way together again if you want. Not much choice, if we're all walking the same way. Kane cut into the conversation, taking a few steps to walk ahead of the other two. The ground was uneven, stones that once made up a path broken and reclaimed by nature. Noah and Kane had traversed this terrain all of their lives. August, on the other hand, watched the ground carefully, cautious for anything it could trip on. The ground's a little uneven, so be careful. If you need a hand. Ah! Before Noah could even finish his sentence, August stumbled over a tree root that had forced itself out of the ground. He fell straight over the edge, towards the edge. With lightning speed, Noah grabbed August's hand and quickly pulled him back onto the path. Are you okay? Wow, that was close. I'm fine, I'm totally fine. I should have watched where I was going. Thank you, Noah. What would I have done without you? It's no big deal, just be more careful. I will try at least. Noah looked down to where his hand was wrapped around August's. It felt warm and comforting. He blinked a few times, staring at the place they had connected. Oh, sorry, I got a little distracted. Noah quickly ripped his hand away and rubbed at the back of his neck. Kane turned away from the scene and continued onwards. August, ever with a smile on his face, raced to catch up. Quick, Noah, before we get left behind! We're nearly here. See that river over there? Wow, a river as well? Once you reach the river, you know you're nearly home. See over there, through the trees? This really was a shortcut. In the summer, you can swim here too. If I'm here in the summer, then we should go together. Finally, they found themselves in front of their houses. Kane waved the other two off and left quickly, which Noah found unlike him. Noah wanted to say something, but he couldn't think of what. Well, see you tomorrow. Do you want to walk to school together tomorrow? Oh, yeah, that would be cool. August smiled at him again, soft and sweet. I'm glad. See you tomorrow, Noah. Noah found himself locked in place as he watched August walk back towards his house. It was only a few minutes later he managed to snap out of it and entered his home. Welcome home, dear. Did you have a good day at school? Yeah, it was alright. Let me take a quick look at your notes. Just want to make sure you're doing your work. I did. You don't need to check them. I left them at school anyway. Then bring them home tomorrow. Do you understand? Why? Do what your mother tells you to do. His father grunted from the sofa, still dressed in a suit from a hard day's work. Noah knew he couldn't argue with either of them. Fine, whatever. Did you notice someone new moved in next door? They both froze up as if an uncomfortable subject was mentioned. Yes, unfortunately. There's a new guy in my class actually. We walk home together. Noah, you shouldn't be spending your time with someone like that. What? Why? Just listen to your mother. But why? He seems nice. My dear, you only have to look at them to realize, well, they don't exactly fit in around here, do they? how to say, there's no women in their house. I worry they're a little too feminine leaning themselves, if the father is anything to go by. It's not a good idea for us, for you, to be associated with someone like that. I don't know what you're trying to say. The boy's father turned up on our doorstep yesterday. Don't know how someone like him managed to afford a place here, but they obviously don't belong. Photography. Pfft. He should be getting a real job. That's right. They don't look like they have the money to be here, so we sent him off. I don't want to be embarrassed in front of the neighbors. He came to say hi and you threw him out? You don't need to put it like that, dear. If the son's anything like the father, then you steer clear of them. Something's not quite right. Wouldn't be surprised if either one of them batted for the wrong team, you understand? Noah frowned at the words. But no buts. Upset, Noah stormed out of the room. God, they make me so angry. Noah dropped his backpack to the floor and pulled out his sketch pad. Filled with anger, he lazily scrawled lines over a blank page. Why do they have to care so much about how they're seen? Maybe I should go apologize to them. For some reason, one comment stuck in his head. They think August would like guys. I mean, he doesn't seem like he would. They didn't even meet him. But it wouldn't matter if he did. I wonder if he does. His mind kept turning in circles, spinning and spinning, while his pencil dragged harshly along the paper until finally the leech snapped. Okay, here is the start of chapter 1. I will save. I might save a little more often. I have serious trauma from A Date with Death. Yeah, this will haunt me for the next games I will play. Alone. Sad. It was an inescapable fact. He was unlovable, detestable, undesirable. Nothing he did could help him to escape that. No matter where he went, those eyes filled with hate would follow him. Their gaze would burn him alive where he stood. Their words would pierce him like blades, stabbing down to his very core. His essence would darken and crumble away into nothingness. You deserved it, they would say. If you'd listened to us, this wouldn't have happened, they would say, scream. Why wouldn't you be normal? A cry would sound. Even here, far beyond where those words could find him, he would still feel them, in his chest, in his mind, in his heart. You will always be alone. Always. No one else could love you. No one else could put up with you. So just curl up into a ball and die already. Die. Just die. Noah slowly opened his eyes. He still sat in front of his easel. On it, a new canvas, still blank. His eyes started back. Wait a second. Okay. Here we go. Back to Dreambound. His eyes started back towards the painting that had appeared the night before. A nightmare, disgusting, warped, a reflection of a father who would never love his son, who could never love his son. It was beautiful. It was everything he had ever wished for. He stood from his place, stretching out his sore shoulders. His bones creaked and ached from years of being bent over his work. Absent-mindedly, he picked up the remote and turned on the TV. Background noise, white noise, to fill the void where he had been left empty. But for some reason, he found his eyes trained on the screen. We now have permission to share imaginary of the strange markings that have been appearing on the bodies of the deceased. On the screen, a man laid with his eyes closed, never to reopen. Vines wrapped around his arms, trailing up to his throat and finally growing onto his face. They centered on a flower in the middle of the man's forehead. Beauty and death. This man was found in his home late last night. Previously, his wife was found in the same condition. Police are still investigating whether foul play was involved. The camera zoomed out to show the rest of the man's face. Noah froze. His eyes traveled to his painting, then back to the screen. It was his father. There was no doubt about it. Without second thought, Noah jumped to his feet and approached the TV. He held onto it tight, searching for some kind of answer. Was he sad his father was gone? No. But what I saw last night. So far, the police have not shared any leads. We'll keep you updated as the case unfolds. Is it possible? Did he die because of what happened yesterday? But that wasn't really him, just a shadow in a dream. These words swirled around in his head, threatening to consume him. Questioning surfaced one after another, but he couldn't think of a single answer. He felt as if he was going crazy. I need to talk to someone. Anyone. But who would understand? Who would care? He had nobody after all. Kane. Noah grimaced at the thought. All he did to push him away, all he did to make him leave, and now he needed him. What did I do with my phone? He searched high and low before remembering he had put it in the bin. With a sigh, he reached in and managed to find it. He switched it on. 11 missed calls from his father. He deleted the records and instead tried to call Kane. Your service has been disconnected. Please visit us at... Fuck. Noah hung up quickly before slamming his phone down. Bills. It was always bills. The money he had saved was reaching its end. Fuck. Kane, why aren't you here when I need you? He is probably at work. Of course he is. Noah's eyes glanced towards his front door. For a moment he wondered what life would be like if he had a job, a family that cared, colleagues, friends, a life, perhaps a lover, a pet. Before he realized that his hands was on the doorknob, his palms were sweaty and his breath shaky. I'm not scared. It's not scary. I just hate it. At first, he wasn't scared. He withdrew because he hated it. Hated other people, hated their fake happiness. Hated that they had futures that were taken from him. He knew they were all liars, cheats, backstabbers. But now it had been too long. How many years since he last walked in sunlight? Too many. Still, he turned that doorknob and stepped out into the bright light. A mirage of happiness spread before Noah. Sunlight fell upon his face, in the distance a dark storm cloud rolled out. He raised a hand to cover his eyes, unused to the light. He thought it would feel good, the sun on his face after so long. He thought it would feel good, the sun on his face after so long. But it didn't. It felt wasted on him. His eyes glued to the ground, Noah walked down the sidewalk, careful not to meet anyone's gaze. He wandered and wandered every step further from his home, his comfort, making his heart beat even faster. I think I know where Kane works. I should know the way. His uneasy steps continued. A group of teenagers came barreling down the path. He held his breath as they went past, waiting for them to say something to him. Only when they had long passed could he breathe again. He walked and then walked some more, then just for good measure walked further. At this point he was sure he had been walking in circles. Every street, every shop, every house looked like the last. He thought he knew where Kane worked, but he didn't. As it turned out, he knew very little about Kane anymore. Overwhelmed with the sight and sounds, he crouched down to the ground, covering his face with his arms. At that exact moment, the heavens opened. Noah was torn between staying where he was and running to find cover, but in the end his legs wouldn't move. Couldn't. They made the decision for him. I'm so stupid. Fuck, why did I leave? If I had just waited, he would have come over eventually. It's all just a stupid coincidence. My parents' death, the marking on my dad's forehead, it means nothing. Kane would just laugh at me if he could see me now. A group of businessmen walked by him, chatting and laughing. Noah couldn't help but look away, embarrassed of himself. Look at him, do you think he's homeless? That or a druggie, better stay away. They laughed at him. He thought he was used to those words, but they still hurt. Noah looked up just in time to lock eyes with the one person he was hoping to see. Huh? You guys, go ahead. Kane's gonna go buy some drugs. Good luck, man. Wow, that's so mean. Oh my gosh. Kane ignored the others and jogged over to where Noah was still crouched on the pavement. He quickly tipped his umbrella to cover Noah. Noah, what are you doing out here? What's wrong? Kane, I was looking for you. You should have called. It's just lucky I happened to be walking past. My phone's dead. Didn't pay the bills. Right. Sorry, I should have guessed. My parents are dead. What? Kane's face said all the words he couldn't think to say. Noah, I'm so sorry. I know you didn't have the best relationship, but how do you feel? About them being dead? Nothing. Even if you hate them, I'm sure you're not feeling nothing right now. I can't even say I hate them. It's been too long. It's just burnt out. I don't have the energy to hate them anymore. Noah. With a frown, Kane helped Noah to his feet, brushing off his clothes. Let me walk you home. We can talk on the way, okay? Noah nodded, unsure of where to start. It's not just about them being dead, it's how they died. This might sound crazy, but the world collapsed around them. And as they disappeared, someone else stepped into the place they had just been. Whoa! Another character is introduced. Falling. That familiar feeling that could be felt in the pit of Noah's stomach. That feeling he hated. Just when he thought he'd be stuck in that limbo forever, he suddenly stopped. Fields rolled on for miles and miles, a landscape that, while entirely natural, looked anything but. Noah stood up from the grass. Beside him, Kane did the same. Where are we? Kane's eyes were wide as he searched around the landscape for anything he could recognize. Of course he couldn't find anything, because this wasn't a place he had ever been before. It was far removed from the reality Kane knew. This is... Before Noah could begin to explain, his arms were suddenly ripped from his side and shoved roughly behind his back. 2 clicks sounded, and they were locked behind him. Trespassers this far into the kingdom? We best throw them straight into jail. If the king finds out, he'll be furious. Jail? King? I think you misunderstood. We're just... Silence! A guard pushed him forward, causing Kane to stumble. Noah noticed his arms were also handcuffed behind his back. We're not from here. This is a mistake. Shut up, vermin. Noah, start explaining. We're inside someone's dream. Have you eaten something funny? Look, I know I sound insane, but just look around you. Do you really think I'm lying? Do you think I have the energy to lie to you right now? You brought us here? And no, I didn't, and that's what I'm confused about. I don't want to be here. I wouldn't choose to come here, but lately I've been dragged into dreams repeatedly without choice. It never used to happen like this. Kane's face had long since drained of color. The guards continued to march forward, pushing them towards the castle. They ignored the words of the men dressed in strange clothes, deciding they were obviously crazy. Then, it never used to happen like this. You mean... Ever since we were in high school, I've been able to do it. To enter dreams. How? Why? I don't know. I have no clue. Why didn't you tell me? Why do I have to tell you everything? Kane looked away, hurt by his words. How do we leave? You can leave once the dreamer is happy for you to leave. Then what do we do? What happens if they're not happy? Then they wake up and we... I don't know. Die, I guess. Which wouldn't be the worst thing to happen. Noah, I am not going to die in a place like this. Then we better work out whose dream this is. Well, maybe if my arms weren't handcuffed. Hey, let us go. They marched Kane and Noah into the castle as the two struggled against their captors. The corridors twisted and turned, filled with darkness and stale air. Their footsteps echoed through the empty space as they walked between sets of bars. Noah glanced from cell to cell. In some, the people moved, skulking about in the shadows, tracking their movements. In others, Noah would have been surprised if the inmates weren't already long dead. Skin hung from their bodies, much too scrawny to support their lives any longer. They laid in their cells, unmoving. Noah, this doesn't feel like a dream, this feels real. Because we're actually here. Our bodies aren't in the real world anymore. The guards finally stopped their march, pulling on Kane and Noah's handcuffs. The metal bit into their wrists, leaving deep red marks that ached. Go ahead and rot in there. The handcuffs fell from their I can't talk today. The handcuffs fell from their wrists with a click, and their backs were shoved hard with a blunt object, the hilt of a sword, Noah guessed. They stumbled forward, landing in a cell. The bars were swiftly slammed behind them, and the door locked with a key. Hey, don't we get a trial or something? Don't ignore me. Hey, come back here. Crap. Behind them, they hung the keys from a hook just out of reach of the cell, as if to tease them with freedom. Shit, Noah, this isn't good. You don't say. Noah cast his eyes around the cell until they came into contact with something. No, not something, someone. A man sat leaning against the stone wall, chains keeping him from moving. Every cell in Noah's body froze. Not him. Why does it have to be him? Kane's eyes followed Noah's before they settled on the man. Is that Mr. Floyd? Sure, looks like it. So, is it his dream? Probably. Do you want me to... I'll handle it. Wait, before either of us do any handling, can we talk for a minute? Sure, because we have the time to spare. Just a minute, please. Noah crossed his arms, waiting for the question to start. Why were we pulled in here out of nowhere? I have no clue. Like I said, it never happened like this before. Every other time it was by choice. Which makes yesterday even stranger. What about yesterday? Noah weighed it up in his mind, wondering whether he should tell Kane or not. Eventually, he decided to tell him the truth. I stopped coming into dreams years ago. Then yesterday, just like this, I was pulled into one. It was my father's dream, I think. And I saw him get shot. Then this morning, he turned up dead. What? His eyes went wide. Are they connected? I don't know. Maybe. Those markings that have been appearing, people dying in dreams. That's what I came to talk to you about. Anyways, let's just work on getting out of here, okay? Kane nodded in response. Noah slowly approached the man one step at a time. Eventually, he looked up from the ground and stared hard at Noah. Noah? Noah flinched. Of all the people he had wished to see, this man the least. Mr. Floyd, we need to get you out of here. Out. No, can't leave. Won't leave. Too scared. There is nothing to be scared about. This is a dream. You have the ability to alter it as you will. Come on, let's go. No, I can't. Fine. What are you so scared of? The shadowy figure. He has a gun. Alarm bells rung in Noah's mind. He looked back towards Kane, who was already frowning. No, it's going to hurt you. He shook as if he was going to burst into tears at any moment. Noah sighed. Looks like I have to do this the hard way. Then let me help you. You'll help me? After everything? Yes, just stay there while I work out how to get you unbolted, then we'll leave together. Wait, Noah, I want to apologize. Noah turned his back, uninterested in where the conversation was going. I don't have any use for your apologies. If it were up to me, I would leave you here to rot, but Kane doesn't deserve to share that fate. Get him unbolted and get the door unlocked. This should be interesting. What do? We get him out of here, then we'll be able to leave. You make that sound way too easy. Oh, it won't be. We're in a hurry too if he wakes up. Right, let's look around. Escape. Oh, it seems like this is the first part where I can actually do or click something. So I got a bed, bars, a dubious bucket, a bedside table, wall engravings, and a ball and chains. Huh. Noah knelt down the ground by the wall, peering at something that had been scratched into the stone. There's something here. Let me take a look. Kneeling down by Noah's side, he glanced at the numbers marked on the wall. What exactly is that supposed to mean? Good question. Let's keep this in mind. So it's 15, 23, 37, and 46. A box with buttons. What's this? What's that on the front? Noah turned the hexagon-shaped knobs, but nothing seemed to happen. It looks like it's missing a button. Probably no point messing with this until we can fix it. Okay, so we have that unfixable box. Bedside table. Standly, proudly, next to the worn-down bed was a wooden bedside table. On top, a small candle bolted to the surface. Noah approached it carefully before reaching down to touch the surface. Clean. What's in the drawer? Let's find out, shall we? Grabbing onto the handle, Noah pulled gently, but it refused to budge. I think it's locked. What kind of prison lets their prisoners have a locked drawer? This one, apparently. I suppose anything's fair game in a dream. Let's find something to unlock it. Noah turned to the chained-up man, still stuck on the wall, but he refused to look back at him. Hey, what's in there? Just leave him. He obviously doesn't want to talk to us. Okay. What else could I use? Maybe... Okay, I can't click that. Bed, bars, bed. Bars. Oh. Outside the bars, various voices could be heard. Some were barely more than whispers, fleeting words never to be discovered. Others were screams and shouts, the sound of those never to be released begging for freedom. Even if these people aren't real, this isn't right. Unless you feel like staying here with them, we need to get out of here. That's all well and good to say, but there's a thick set of bars stopping us from leaving. We, be quiet. Oh, oi, be quiet in here. We, fuck it. Now they're French. A guard walked past, bashing the hilt of his sword against the metal bars. Noah and Kane jumped back in surprise. Seeing someone with a sword wasn't on my bingo card for the day. Just outside the bars, the keys hung on a hook by a rope out of reach. The rope trailed down to the group, begging to be pulled on. The keys are hanging right there, if we could just reach them. From this far away? Maybe there's something in here we could use to grab it. I suppose it'll be more difficult than we thought. Hey, what's that? Kane pointed towards the ground outside of the bars where a piece of paper sat. That wasn't there before. Quickly, grab it. Okay. We unlocked something new. No, I don't want the bars. I want the paper behind it here. Looking back forth quickly for any more guards, Noah peered at the paper that had been dropped outside of the cell. Stretching his arms between the metal bars, Noah reached out far enough to touch it with his fingertips. Kane watched over his shoulder, inspecting the newly acquired item. It's A schedule? Looks like it. 7 till 1, 4 till 8, 2 till 6, 1 till 7. But who knows what time is it now anyway? Maybe it means something. Let's just hope the guards won't be breathing down our necks while we're trying to, escape. Beyond the barrier, keeping the three inside the cell from freedom, a hollow noise sounded, metallic in nature. A shiver ran down Noah's back as it echoed through the prison, the source unknown. Yeah. For now, let's just take another look around. Okay, we have our bed. I don't know what use there should be to investigate the bed, but I'm running out of ideas. With an unsteady heart, Noah looked towards the large bed that sat in the center of the room. Pretty much what I expected a medieval prison to look like. Guess I'll check it just in case. I'm not too excited about digging through someone's used bedding, though. Want me to do it? Noah blinked in surprise for a moment before nodding. It was Kane he was with, after all. He had always been the kind of person who would happily take the jobs no one else wanted to do. Doesn't seem to be much here. In the pillow? He felt through the pillowcase, his eyes going wide. Nice thinking. He pulled out something small and metallic. A screwdriver. I could have thought about that. How did he get this in here anyway? Probably watched one too many TV shows and thinks everyone has a screwdriver hidden in their cell. Well, that works for me. Hopefully he dreamt up somewhere we can use this thing too. Kane quickly handed the screwdriver over to Noah, his hand lingering on the other man's for just a moment before he pulled back. So we have the box with buttons and the bedside table. I think on one of them we should be able to use the screwdriver. Oh. Okay, here's a puzzle. Can also turn the moon. You can turn each hexagon left or right. Click the hint button again for another hint. Oh well. Yeah, obviously we can. I kind of have an idea, but... I see. So we cannot access this yet. Then let's look at the drawer again. The clinking of metal on metal continued in the background, ever present. Somewhere in the prison a whip dug out into the flesh of an inmate. The scream was inaudible. Okay, cool. It's not what I wanted with the bedside table, but nice for telling me. Maybe I'm too slow. The clinking of... Oh, wait, I have an inventory? How did I access it? Hey, give it back to me. Here you go. Okay, this already makes a lot more sense. So now I should be able to open this. I doubt he would have hidden anything within the bed frame, probably not worth taking it apart. Well, if we get stuck, we could always try it. Let's keep it as a last resort. I really don't want to touch that thing. Yeah, I didn't want to screw drive the bed. I want the bedside table. I wonder if I could just force the drawer open. Here, let me have a try. Kane quickly took the screwdriver and went to work, but no matter how much he tried, it refused to budge. Jesus, what's this drawer made out of? I suppose he dreamed of a specific way to open it. Nothing else will work. Fine, let's keep looking. With the screwdriver in one hand and his will to live very quickly diminishing, Noah turned towards the bucket. I guess there's no choice. What's the plan here? Unscrew it? And let the contents spill all over the floor? No. I'm just going to check if there's actually anything in there. The screwdriver dipped into the murky liquid deeper and deeper until it hit something with a soft twang. There's something in there. Oh. But I'm still not sticking my bare hand in that thing. I don't know what's in there. I think I could take a guess. Oh my god, no, Kane. No, Kane, don't. Please don't. Okay, there is something in there. I still do actually not wish to continue randomly screw-driving things. But I, for real, do not know how to get rid of that thing. A loose brick? Where's the brick? I know that there was just that writing on screen about a loose brick. Give me the stupid loose brick. It might be helpful. I need it. Oh my god, I can't find it anymore. Oh wait, here. Here, oh my god, I found the brick. I found the brick, guys. The room was cold, chilling the inhabitants down to their bones. The cool stone of the walls reminded them that they weren't welcome. Noah reached up and ran his fingers over them, freezing to the touch. The moisture clung to his skin. It feels just as lifelike as I remember. You said you used to do this a lot, didn't you? Are they always like this? Like what? So hostile. I thought I saw people around me at their worst. I thought I knew to some extent how unwanted I was. As it turned out, that was only a fraction of how they really felt. The truth people keep to themselves, the secrets they hold, the way people truly think about you. You'll find them all here. So yes, they're all like this in a way. Noah, not everyone's like that. Everyone that's left is kinda like that. A stone shifted beneath Noah's palm as he ran his hands across the dark grey wall. This stone is loose. Can you pull it out? No, it's still too heavy. There must be something around we could use to break it. Let's keep looking. Alright, and Noah? I would never do anything to hurt you, you know that. Yeah, maybe. Because somewhere here we have those... Yeah, ball and chains, exactly. I'm pretty sure that's the answer. Huh, so that's how it is. How what is? The ball and chains hanging from the ceiling, they line up perfectly with that loose brick. Nice job, I hadn't noticed. Let's give it a go. With some effort, Noah pulled the heavy ball back as far as he could and let it go. It sailed through the air before crashing into the brick, smashing it in pieces. Good job! Thanks. Initially excited, Noah frowned to himself before he composed his face. I mean, it's no big deal. We gotta get out of here. You still did a good job. There's nothing wrong with being happy about that. This isn't the place to be happy. There is nothing wrong with happiness. Yes! So we can get out of here now. Yeah, metal grate, here we go. Behind the crumbled remains of the loose brick was a thick metal grate held on tight by 4 screws. Can you see what's behind it? Noah peered in with no luck. Nope, we'll have to get this grate off. Okay, time for the screwdriver. With precision, Noah raised the screwdriver to the 4 screws in the corners of the grates, quickly removing it from the wall. I knew that screwdrivers would come in useful eventually. But what's this behind the grate? Noah stared at the unknown item that he had uncovered behind the grate, screwdriver still in hand. He raised it almost as if he was protecting himself. Let's take a look at it before you try to take it to bits with that, alright? Right. If you're worried, I can take a look. No, it's fine, I'll take a look. Noah and Kane approached the hole in the wall to find a small square box. Tentatively, Noah reached out and picked it up. He turned it around in his grasp. There didn't seem to be anything noteworthy on its surface except for 4 unmarked buttons on the front. What's this supposed to be? Good question. Oh damn, I mixed up the character voices. He pressed a few of the buttons, but nothing eventful happened. Do you think we have to press them in the right order? Probably. Nothing's easy. How are we meant to guess? It could be anything. There should be a clue somewhere in the room. That's how dreams usually work, hopefully. Sure, every dream is an escape room. Who doesn't know about that? Kane nodded in response, his eyes caught on the small box. Or we could try to smash it? And if it has something breakable in it? Right, well, I'm sure have half a brain between us, we can work it out. Speak for yourself. Okay, I'm pretty sure that this should be the answer. Wall engravings. Okay, maybe I need a hint. The code to unlock the box is 8 digits long. Click the hint button again for another hint. Need to close it again. It's like 15, 23, 37, 46. So if it's 8 digits, I think I need another hint. Combine the numbers on the schedule to find the unlock code. Click the hint button again for another hint. Okay, I see. So my idea was simply wrong. Noah stared hard at the numbers that graced the guard's schedule, his eyes almost boring holes into the sheet of old parchment. This must be connected. Yeah, it does, but how can I look at it again? Oh, okay, now I can read it. Combine the numbers. I am thinking long and hard, but I think the black-haired shared network brain cell is currently being used by someone else. Because I personally can't make sense of that.